And overall, from a schematic side, for example, Pittsburgh, going with Russell Wilson last night to kind of see what he gives them and what that is relative to Fields. And honestly, they'll probably need both guys, but at least Coach Tomlin has a good feel now. And you got to give Coach Tomlin a lot of credit. I mean, that was as usual, he makes a lot of good moves and knows his team extremely well. But now he knows what he has with Wilson. He knows what he has with Fields, and that's a good thing to have halfway through the season and have two guys that you can count on. He didn't know that until last night for sure about Wilson. He knows a lot more now. So, I think there are some ways to improve your team. But when I say football starts after Thanksgiving, I think that's really in terms of, how the season's going to end.
Mike Tomlin's doing it again. Mike Tomlin, the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers, he told Jay Glazer in a one-on-one phone call on Saturday night that he went Lone Ranger and decided to bench Justin Fields, who has led the Pittsburgh Steelers to a winning record and has a QBR of like 95.8 or something like that.
Whoa.
Which we don't know what that number is, but we do know if it's 95 point something, it's good news.
Pretty good.
But Mike Tomlin told Jay Glazer he went Lone Ranger. There's people in that facility, a lot of people in that facility that didn't want to change quarterback. We're winning ball. What are we going to do? We're going to piss off the football gods? We're actually winning games, doing this thing. We got the quarterback of the future maybe in Justin Fields. And we know Russell Wilson hasn't been able to take any snaps, training camp, preseason, or regular season because he has that calf strain because he was driving sleds right before training camp started. But Mike Tomlin said going into this year, I felt that we had two quarterbacks that played good football for us. There was one of them that was in pole position going into the offseason workouts, into training camp and everything. It was Russell Wilson. And I haven't even got an opportunity to see how this guy can play. I went Lone Ranger, and I decided to put him in and bench Justin Fields. Justin Fields came out and said, I got to play better, so this isn't even a conversation. A lot of teammates were backing Justin Fields. Heard a lot of the wide receivers even backing Justin Fields, saying, we love this guy. So what was Russell Wilson going to look like as the starting quarterback of the Pittsburgh Steelers? Well, when he came out of the tunnel, it looked cool.
Yeah, very cool.
They had Sam Belly fireworks going off in the sky. Obviously, some fans also split on the decision. Ooh. Are they a Justin Fields team? Are they a Russell Wilson team? Are they Mr. Unlimited? Well, oh, mama, I'm in fear for my life from the long, oh, my love. What an entrance for Russell Wilson. And then the first half, it did not look great.
No.
But then in the second half, became a production and points party that the Pittsburgh Steelers fans have been yearning for a year. And Russ rinsed out the rust. Russell Wilson won 16 to 29 for 264 pass yards, 2 pass touchdowns, rush TD. Most pass yards by a player in their first game with the Steelers in franchise history.
Holy hell.
They've been playing football in Pittsburgh a long time. Remember, Mike Tomlin said, a lot of people told me not to do this. Bang! Historic start for Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the first QB to lead the Steelers to 30-plus points in his starting debut with the team since our starts were first tracked in 1950. Historic!
Jeez.
Last time Pittsburgh scored 30 points and gained 400 yards in a regular season game was in 2018. Okay, it's been a long time. There's been a lot of chance. There's been a lot of firings. There's been a lot of new players. And now, in his debut, Russell Wilson made that Pittsburgh Steelers offense look like it could maybe go. And then the defense is obviously always going to play. Shout out to Beanie Bishop, West Virginia legend. Had a couple big picks.
Huge.
That first one right before half, obviously going to be talked about. Might make an appearance on everything DB, good D, bad D, which would be fantastic. And Aaron Rodgers, throughout his career, historically, legendarily great in not turning the ball over. This season, a little bit different. We don't know if they're ever going to be able to kind of kick out of that, but Beanie Bishop made some massive plays for this Pittsburgh Steelers defense. And then the second one off Garrett Wilson's chest, give me that, boink, right into Beanie Bishop's hands. And then Beanie gets another one. So the Pittsburgh Steelers defense always going to be good. Patrick Queen there on that offensive lineman. Test results came back negative. I believe he was okay. There was a couple commercial breaks for that entire thing. But the Pittsburgh Steelers get a big win. Artie Smith's offense seems to go. George Pickens, Moss, and people. Let's go to one half of the hammer.
Dahn.
Cowboys. Are the Pittsburgh Steelers going to win a Super Bowl this year? AP Tone.
Well, Pat, first and foremost, I'd just like to thank our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Okay? Just want to get that out there.
Hell yeah, Jesus.
Yep.
Hey, way to go, Jesus.
Love you, Jesus.
I take my lead from our quarterback, and that's how he would start this, so that's how I'm going to start this, okay? And then we saw him run out last night, and you and I think, both had the same reaction. Russ has got some
They got Sam Belly fireworks.
Russ looks pretty good. The Sunday night crowd was fired up, and then the first drive, they looked good. They went down, and they got a field goal, and then things deteriorated quickly. There was a lot of people in his face quickly. There was a couple throwouts to the left flat where the ball didn't look good, and then the Boo Birds started coming down, which was fine.
Oh, mama, this guy sucks. Yeah, that's what they were saying.
A lot of that because there was a lot of Justin Fields support because he was 4-2 and he did a lot of good things. But then that first moon ball down the left side's a GP. And you know what Russ did last night? He treated George Pickens like George Pickens. He gave him shots on 50-50 balls, which George Pickens is unbelievable at. And then once that happened, like the floodgates kind of opened. It was like, okay, you give George a chance to make plays, he's going to make plays. You give Pat Freiermuth a chance to make plays, he's going to make plays. And then you start hitting balls down the field. Guess what? You don't have 9, 10, 11 people in the box daring you to throw it down the field because they know you won't. Then Najee gets going. Jalen Warren gets going. Artie Smith is in his bag just dialing things up. He has 2 400-yard games as an OC this year. Matt Canada didn't have one in his career, so that was awesome. Russ had a QBR or passer rating, whatever, of like 110 last night. Since Ben retired, Russ did it in his first game, and Mason Rudolph did it 3 times. No other quarterback since Ben retired has done that for a Pittsburgh Steelers. So, yeah, things went really well last night in all 3 phases. Offense, defense had the turnovers, and then there was 2 one technically block from Danny Smith and his special team. So it was a complete team win last night. It was awesome. Yeah, to answer your original question in a long form, going to the Super Bowl.
Okay, sounds like it. Pittsburgh Steelers fans are obviously excited. That was a magical night in Pittsburgh. There's Danny Smith, got a whole pack of gum in his mouth and a whole crew of boys saying, "Hey, baby, Danny, we did that for you." He's got a separated shoulder. Okay, that guy's got a bad shoulder. Hurt himself a couple years ago on the sideline. Remember, he got steamrolled.
Oh, yeah.
Refused to get surgery because didn't want to have to miss a game. So now he has to live with that decision. And he actually can't even put his hands up for field goal good. He's the only special teams coordinator in the history of the NFL that cannot put both of his hands up in the air to signify a field goal is good. So when I saw him whenever they came and played at the Loud House, Chris Boswell obviously goes, "Hey, ask Danny to make a good field goal sign." So I go, "Coach, hey, field goal's good. What are we doing?" And he goes, "Oh, fuck you." And I go, I didn't even know what happened, obviously. And he goes, "I can't lift my arm, so it's right here." It's right here. So whenever the boys get a big blocker or a big returner, have something good happen, they want to celebrate Danny. Danny Yinzer legend, okay, from Pittsburgh, has coached for the Steelers for a long time, been around the NFL, obviously coached at other places. Everybody has immense respect for him, always has that gum. Yeah. Always has that gum, no matter what's taking place. Always going to be aggressive. Still have no idea why he had Antonio Brown in the 4th quarter to return a punt whenever they were already up 20-some points. Sure. And it was a no Moss situation. He takes one back to the house on me, obviously. But the boys love Danny. Special teams going to be good. Yep. Punter, kicker, good. Mm-hmm. Defense going to be good. It's Pittsburgh Steelers, Mike Tomlin. Mm-hmm. Now Artie Smith in the offense, good. I think you should be reacting the way you're reacting, and I don't think you're the only one. I think a lot of Yinzers are hassling some IC lights and hammering some sandwiches from around town, having a blast out there.
Agreed. And one last thing, Steelers ownership, look at you. Gray face masks, block letters. What are we doing?
Every time.
Every game.
Keep it.
What are we doing?
Those uniforms look clean.
Awesome.
They looked awesome. Those block letters are just old. It feels old school, but it looks cool.
Yeah.
You know, like some old school stuff is outdated. Like, for instance, that Illinois football team, I'm happy they won. Okay?
No.
I'm really happy they won.
Don't do that.
Love the helmet.
Don't do
Love the helmet.
Yeah.
Good.
Love the helmet.
Awesome.
If they were just going out there with invisible cloaks and a helmet, I would have loved everything about it.
Okay.
What they did from here down, I think we need to go back to the drawing board.
Sure.
Some of those different throwbacks and styles are cropped. Some of them are awesome. The Steelers uniform looked awesome. I assume those would sell immensely everywhere. But that team looks to be buzzing. It's good whenever Pittsburgh has a team like that because you guys haven't enjoyed watching offensive football for the Steelers in a long time.
No, it was unbelievable. Things were just plays that I haven't seen in years in the playbook were there. And just plays that normal teams have, high school teams have, colleges have. It was just great to see it. And I can't wait to keep going.
Okay.